Thanks for joining us tonight at 6 o'clock. I'm Kelly Swoop. The host of a Baltimore Airbnb says he got more than he bargained for after a guest stay left him nearly $8,000 in the hole due to damages, stolen property, and some much-needed extra cleaning. But he says he's been stuck with that bill while the company has denied his claim until WMAR2 News got involved. WMAR2 News' Blair Sable joins us now to explain how. Blair?
Kelly, well, Airbnb gives hosts a 2-week window to submit their claims. Documentation and police reports also required. But in reality, here in Baltimore, it can take more than a month to get that document well past that tight deadline provided. Jordi Luke says he's loved being an Airbnb superhost for the past 7 years. An artist, he's turned his former Baltimore home into a unique stay with matching black and white furniture and accents.
So it's a beautiful, very special, magical place.
That was until it was ruined practically overnight.
My belongings were missing, valuables like TVs, sheets, duvets, pillows, carpets, plates, bowls, pots, pans. I mean, they cleared me of everything you can imagine.
Caught on security camera, it appeared the 4-person stay in late April was actually more like 20.
Incómodo, ¿no? Porque están muchas personas.
Luke's friend Jose Pineda saw the damage firsthand and says Luke is the last person who deserves something like this.
Jordi is very humble, very humanitarian, really. And it seems to me, I'm telling you, it pains me a lot to see good, generous people who always help the community and the people suffer things like this because it's not fair.
The Airbnb was cleaned up quickly. Luke credits his support system so he didn't have to cancel on future guests. He filed a claim with Airbnb's host damage protection policy, which requires it within 14 days of the stay. Luke provided the estimated costs and photos to the company. He also filed a separate police report believing it to be a black and white case. For Airbnb, it was too, that the claim was lacking in sufficient evidence without that report. But Baltimore City Police state on their website, BPD will attempt to produce the records no more than 30 days after receiving the request. Luke still hasn't received the report, nor has Airbnb contacted the department. It wasn't until we reached out to the company and pointed out the discrepancy in the timelines that they granted him an extension until June 2nd.
It shouldn't have to lead to this, to put this much public pressure on a company to just uphold their commitment.
Airbnb says it does not contact police departments, which is another concern for Luke. It's unclear what, if any, consequences the guest behind the profile may have experienced.
Fortunately, no one was hurt, but what would happen if someone was hurt? Would Airbnb still not call the police? It just doesn't feel like safety is a priority for Airbnb right now.
And after all of this, Luke says he's reconsidering continuing to open up his home through the company, even though it's one of his main sources of income.
This will certainly be an unexpected financial strain on me and my family. You know, there's also been so much time that I've had to take away from the work I'm doing at the community level to deal with this crisis.
Now, we have reached out to Airbnb but did not receive a formal response about this case.
So how do other guests make sure that this, or rather Airbnb hosts make sure that this does not happen to them?
Yeah, well, Kelly, I've been doing a lot of sleuthing on the internet, if you will. There's a lot of forums online about this. I also spoke to a host out of New York, and this is unfortunately sort of the name of the game. They've experienced delays and challenges as part of this process, so hosts should always be prepared for some sort of back and forth, especially if you have a high ticket claim. It's also recommended to take as many videos and photos of the damage, have receipts of everything purchased for the home. I've also reached out to the Maryland Insurance Authority, administration rather, that recommends hosts have their own liability insurance and to only book guests who show their own proof of liability insurance.
And I bet you this happens more than we really know.
Yeah, probably so, probably so.
All right, Blair, thanks a lot for this report.